Well, fresh, new, young start, and a team that's just going to be all out different next year. It's going to be interesting to watch next season. But anyways, what's going on, guys? My name is Antonio, and this is the AAS All Around Sports Cast. I am your host, Antonio. Today, we are going over the Seahawks, the offseason reaction and thoughts and potential moves that they can make. But let's get this thing started. So, the Seahawks have had a massive change around their roster, including the coaching staff. They have changed a lot of stuff around their coaching staff. Hiring Mike MacDonald as the new head coach, which I think was an amazing hire by the Seahawks team. Then you also got Leslie Frazier. You got Kirk Olividade. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But also along you got the defensive coordinator, Aaron Dorett. I don't know how any of those guys are pronounced. But then also along with Brian Grubb, and Scott Huff as the new OC and the O-line coach. But the question is, what should the expectation be for the Seahawks entering next season? Now, as you all should know, I am a Seahawks fan. I've been born and raised around it since birth. So, it's in my blood. So, I've watched this team for a long time. But, if you guys do enjoy this video, please make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new, especially the Seahawks fans. I want as many Seahawks fans as we can get. And be sure to turn on the notification bell for day-to-day updates on my videos and live streams. For now, let's get this thing started. So, I believe the proper expectation in this season should be maybe a playoff contender. Because, we look at this team. They are young still. You got a young defense, a young secondary. And then you also got veteran leadership on the defensive rushing line and the linebacker group. You got Bobby Wagner, if he's coming back. You got Jordan Brooks, Boye Mafe, who I really like, by the way. And then also along with Vermont Jones, Jaron Reed, and so many other guys on this defensive rushing unit. And then their offense. We look around this offense. They got all the weapons. You got JSN, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, K9, Zach Charbonnet, Noah Fant, Will Disley, and Kobe Parkinsons. And then also along with Bobo, even though he wasn't used probably that much throughout the season. But the only situation was the quarterback. Now, Gino, I've really liked this guy since we saw him first play in his first season without Russell Wilson. But since then, it's just not the same. Now, I get most of it was play calling. But at some point, we got to look to the future. And the future being, we got to look for a young guy. We got to look for a young quarterback. And the fact is, there's so many young quarterbacks in this draft. And we look at some of the potential quarterbacks for the Seahawks. If we count out Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels, you got so many around. You got Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., J.J. McCarthy, maybe even Spencer Rattler, because he kind of performed in the Senior Bowl. And then also along with other guys around the board. And even Jordan Travis if he decides to come, because he is eligible. But it's going to be interesting. I would like to see the Seahawks go after a quarterback. And I do believe Gino would start one more year and then have that rookie learn right behind him. Just like Jordan Love did behind Aaron Rodgers. Look how that turned out. That turned out pretty good for the Packers. Although it is Aaron Rodgers that we're talking about, that bad man. But the point being that the Seahawks could potentially have a new franchise quarterback in this draft. And if not this draft, maybe next draft. Because we look around at the next draft, you got Quentin Ewers, you got maybe Jordan Travis if he decides to be eligible for this draft or not. which I think he's going to try to stay there one more year because he got hurt late in the end of the year, and they missed the college football playoffs, as we all know. But loads of other QBs available, either in this draft or the next draft. But the ultimate position that I see needs to be replaced is O-line. Now, Abraham Lucas and Charles Cross have been amazing additions since the 2 years that they've been here. But we needed new O-line. We need some O-linemen that can get up in there. And we can look at the draft. You got so many good O-line. You got Joe Alt. You got Troy Fatanu, if that's his name's correctly pronounced. Don't quote me on that. I think that's how his name is pronounced. And then you also got loads of other teams that are around the league. And lots of players entering free agency. Which, if we look at the edge rushing position, there's actually a good, decent amount of free agent edge rushers available. You got Josh Allen, not the quarterback, the rusher. You got Darnell Hunter. You got Brian Burns. You got Chris Jones, that is if he doesn't stay with Kansas City. And also along with L'Jarius Sneed, even though he's not an edge rusher. And then also along with Justin Madubuike and Patrick Queen, which I think Mike MacDonald might try to go after those two because he had experience with them when they were with the Ravens and completely revived their careers. And as far as the secondary goes, I think it's pretty solid because the secondary room is already competitive enough. It's already competitive enough. And it's just so competitive in that secondary room. You got so many secondary players. You got so many. I am expecting the Seahawks to maybe fight for second place in the West. But the fact is we're not matched up to the Niners yet. Now, even though they did just lose the Super Bowl, which we all know that eventually impacts them in the season. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I may be right about the Niners. I might be wrong. And until proven otherwise, I still see the Niners winning the NFC West again. Until proven otherwise. But, I mean, the Seahawks have potential. They have potential. And if Mike MacDonald can use these players' strengths and combine it into the play calling, that would be huge. A huge leap for this team. It would be huge for this team. And I am a diehard Seahawk fan. I have wanted change for years since the Super Bowl. I have wanted change. And the time we won the Super Bowl, I was only 10 years old at the time. I'm currently almost on the brink of being 20. And I'm starting this channel right now. So, to all the Seahawks fans, I will send you guys this message. Always stay loyal. Because there's gonna be hard times that we're gonna go through. Some highs and some lows. Because we got new coaching staff. We got new coordinators all around. We may have some up games. We may have some down games. But the fact is, we're always loyal. And we always fight through that grit, no matter what anybody else tells us. No matter what anybody else tells us. And the fact being is this team is rising. This Seahawks team is on the rise. And we are I believe we're one thing away from being a contender. One thing. I don't know what it is, but we're one thing away. But to all the Seahawks fans out there, always stay loyal. We gotta stay through the grit. That's what we're built around, right? Being grit. Going through those hard times. Even when Dave Craig was there. All the way back then, my mom was born around that time. And she had to endure it. And I wasn't even born yet. The point being is we've been through hard times. Up and down. The fact is we're rising. We're rising. And the Niners, Rams, and Cardinals are not going to know what hit them next season. Because we're going to have new team, new play calling, new everything. fresh, new, and clean. But anyways, that's my talk for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new, especially all those Seahawks fans out there. And turn on the notification bell for day-to-day updates on my videos and live streams. I'll catch you all in the next one. So long for now.